Been looking forward to sharing this with everybody, my exclusive interview with Victor Wembanyama. If you don't already know him, you will by tomorrow night's draft. The 19-year-old is French, so I traveled to Paris to meet this special young man.
What if I told you the next Steph Curry is 7'5" tall? You'd probably think I'm crazy, right? Well, prepare to have your mind blown. Victor Wembanyama just turned the basketball world upside down. This guy, who's tall enough to dunk without leaving the ground, started raining threes and handling the ball like a guard. It's like someone combined Curry's skills with Yao Ming's height. How did this happen? What's crazy, do you? Imagine a man that moves like Kyrie Irving but is taller than Yao Ming.
He is the most highly anticipated NBA draft prospect since King James. The 19-year-old is French, so I traveled to Paris.
Hey, I gotta eat whenever I can, before practice, after practice, before going to bed, after waking up.
Most anticipated prospect of his generation.
Hey,
Bonjour.
how are you?
I hear you come here often.
Yeah, I'm kind of used
Oh,
to it.
show me.
For you, that is Victor Wembanyama. Despite being 75, this guy is shattering ankles like he's 6 feet tall. It's crazy. Let's discuss Wembanyama's incredible ball handling abilities. A guy that tall should be awkward with the ball, wouldn't you think? False. Defenders are being left in the dust as he crosses them up one after another. It is comparable to witnessing a skyscraper perform the cha-cha slide. Unbelievably, his coaches made him wear goalie gloves to help him dribble better. Isn't that crazy? Consider attempting to manage a basketball while wearing large gloves. However, it was successful. Even the best point guards would be envious of his handling now. Imagine this. Wembanyama ran down the court, taking around 2 steps to cover half of the floor. Then he suddenly pulls up for a 3. Swish! It's like to witnessing a giraffe perform backflips. It's impossible not to shake your head in shock.
The day in, day out, the grueling NBA schedule.
They could think that because they don't know my work ethic. I know how I work, how we work.
It's just accomplishing something that I've been dreaming of, my whole life.
I could never have any doubts.
And so when someone says bulk up,
Why? What for?
But here's the thing, Wemby's journey wasn't always easy. To play this style, he had to struggle. In order to make him a conventional big man, several coaches wanted to paint him. Would you mind squandering all that skill? It would be equivalent to ordering LeBron to wait for rebounds while standing beneath the hoop. Absolutely not.
Ever since I touched the basketball, I've never stopped. I've always practiced to play the way I play today. That play style, that agility for myself, and I'm so determined that the expectations of others are nothing compared to what I expect of myself.
He's for sure a generational talent.
Wembanyama needed to demonstrate that he was capable of more than just blocking and dunks. He worked on his footwork, dribbling, and shot for hours, and it really paid off. His current appearance is that of a 7'5" Steph Curry. You won't believe what transpired when they faced off, speaking of Curry. However, we will address that in a moment. Let's start by discussing how Wembanyama surprised everyone by surpassing Steph Curry.
your athletic trainers, the way they get you prepped. There was something that I read about. You take off your shoes and socks and you crawl.
A strict routine on and off the court for Victor, who has led his team to the finals of the top-tier French Pro Basketball League.
As a basketball player, it gets the feet stronger. If your feet are strong, you can then get better on every other aspect of your body.
It all began when we discussed these bizarre training techniques. All those hours honing his footwork, shooting threes, and dribbling with gloves, Wembanyama was transformed into a unicorn in basketball. He is talented in addition to being tall. He's draining threes in addition to blocking shots. He's crossing up opponents in addition to dunking. Wembanyama like a 7 and a 5, Steph Curry, don't you recall? And what if I told you that he actually faced the real Steph Curry? And here's the thing, Curry wasn't the star. When these two basketball unicorns faced off, the audience was in awe. Okay, visualize this. The greatest shooter of all time, Steph Curry, is facing off against this 7'5" behemoth. Curry would probably outshine the big man, wouldn't he? You know what happened? Wembanyama begins to rain threes as if it were insignificant. People are going crazy. Curry is asking himself, is this real life? As he looks about. But it gets more bizarre. Curry uses his elegant dribbles to try to shake Wembanyama. Wemby remains by his side. It's similar to witnessing a skyscraper perform a ballet. How on earth is this possible? It shouldn't be possible for a man that tall to move that way. Then comes the time when everyone is discussing. For one of his trademark deep threes, Curry pulls up. With a wingspan that nearly fills the court, Wembanyama is right there. You believe that to be a sure block? Not at all. Curry manages to arc it over their enormous arms. Wemby barely gets the ball past his fingertips. Swish. On social media, that picture became viral. It's crazy. The crazy part, though, is that Wembanyama immediately drops back down and makes a three of his own. It's similar to witnessing two distinct animals engage in the same activity. Wembanyama, the basketball Godzilla, and Curry, the human cheat code, are swapping shots as if it were no big deal. What's even more hilarious? They had a ball for jumping. Curry was laughing on the inside, despite his best efforts to maintain a straight face. He was aware that Wemby was too strong for him. Curry quipped after the game, "I tried to keep it deadpan. I knew I had no chance, so I was secretly giggling." For you, that's Steph, always keeping things light, even when confronted with a human tower. However, Curry would not allow Wembanyama to take all the credit. No, the star player for the Warriors scored 35 points in that contest. Even when a 7x5 monster tries to swat his shots into next week, he demonstrated to everyone why he remains the world's best shooter. The thought is insane, isn't it?
My goal is I'm going to try and learn as quick as possible because I want to win that ring.
You have been labeled generational talent. So many people are thrilled about your potential in the NBA.
I mean, you know, it's a tough league. It's tough to win this league. You know, many players have tried to win for years.
The game is being changed by Wembanyama. He is talented in addition to being tall. He's draining threes in addition to blocking shots. He's keeping up with the greatest shooter in NBA history, not just dunks. It appears as though someone combined all of the basketball cheat codes into a single player.
Being too humble. You gotta be humble enough to be able to respect the game. But if you step on the court too humble and scared, you can't do anything.
The night of the draft, what's going to be going through your mind?
Gonna be so high on emotions. It's really special for me and my family.
Well, you are going to a storied organization in the San Antonio Spurs.
God, I'm a damn Spur.
You are a Spurs.
And all of us are merely observing in wonder. Well, people, there you have it. A 75 monster who can compete with the world's top shooters and moves like a guard. Is it not unbelievable? Wembanyama is rewriting the rules of what is possible in basketball, not just altering the laws of the game. It appears as though the greatest traits of several athletes were combined to create a single super athlete. Do you know what's truly crazy? According to Wembanyama, I was probably born with that will to do things differently and do my own way. And he's doing it in a whole new way. He refuses to be placed in a box. He's out there performing movements that we have never seen someone his stature perform before. Really, keep your eyes on this child. It's possible that we are seeing the birth of an NBA icon. Wembanyama is also thrilled about it. "I think it fits my game so well," he stated. "These games are so much fun to play. I believe I have a lot to say on the court," and he does express. It's like seeing basketball history every time he takes the court. Folks, this is only the beginning. What do you think he'll be up to in a few years?